kind of wild and crazy at the beginning? Do you look for ways to just totally push the envelope on your characters?
How do you feel about working in a black and white movie? If you were to tell your friends or someone else about the movie, you would say, what would you say? You've got to see the movie.
Before, had you had a concept of heaven and hell, or did this kind of make you start thinking about it?
You exude a certain type of confidence, and a lot of people don't have it. How do you think you got that?
Now, it may seem hard to believe that it took just one complaint from one consumer for a nationwide chain to pull a product from its shelves. But consumer groups say that's the key, for the customer to get involved. There were apparently several factors working against firefighters trying to fight the blaze, not only the cold weather, but also the construction of the house.
EPM 50's Lauren Hudson has some nice cold hard details. Lauren?
There's still people out in the dark going through the grass looking for some cash. Wolverine Dispatch, the armored car company, won't say exactly how much money got loose, but we're told that a truck driver who was directly behind the armored truck got as much as $20,000. We're also told that there were little mini bundles of $20 bills, each bundle worth $2,000. Now, as you can imagine, that's enough to cause money mania. Dozens of people flocked to the freeway, frantically searching for the missing money that fell from the armored truck. The truck went and fell! Oh, my God. That's your money. It's not. There's some money out here for me. David, quite honestly, it's kind of creepy out here knowing that something big and wild is out there. As you mentioned, we're at 14 miles just east of Van Dyke, and right behind this wooded area is the Red River Creek, an area near where the animal has been spotted. But earlier today, we went back, way back into the woods to see what this animal may be up to. Roaming around in this heavily wooded area, somewhere in this 100-plus acres, is some sort of huge wild animal. If you look closely at this home videotape shot by a nearby resident a few days ago, it looks like a cross between a lion and a tiger, perhaps a liger, or maybe even a cougar. Arlene Rinke saw it out of her window just last night.
When he was first covered down, I could just see like the top of his body and his head sticking up over the top of the stuff, and I just looked, and he raised up, and then I could see it just was a large animal.
Many college students, like music major LaShira Moore, are afraid they'll soon be singing the blues. LaShira depends on student loans, and from what she's hearing, it may get tougher to find the funds she so desperately needs.
I'm very worried because I can't even afford to pay the tuition.
The story begins in a small community near Ann Arbor, but ends with frustration and mystery. A number of mysterious pipe bombings in Independence Township lead police to what appears to be a church bus and a group of teens with a lot of explaining to do. TV 50's Woody Willis has a story. Mr. Jones wound up handcuffed in the backseat of one of his own squad cars 2 weeks ago when he was charged with drunk driving. Since then, 2 police supervisors have been suspended from duty.
West. Jim West.
I'm Lauren Hudson. Coming up, we'll take you to the set of Malcolm and Eddie, where we'll even air some dirty laundry.
Eddie Griffin is kicking up his heels these days as star of the hit UPN show Malcolm and Eddie. But just a few years ago, this comic from Kansas City got off the Greyhound bus in Hollywood, homeless and broke.
You know, it's like 50 million homeless people out there. Hey, man, you got a quote? I'm like, yeah, you psychic? You know, I'm like, how you knew I had a quote? You know, I was getting ready to ask him.
Nevertheless, Eddie used his comedy to con his way into clubs, and in just 4 months was touring with comedian Andrew Dice Clay.
People are going to notice if you're talking that you do have your tongue pierced.
No, that's a tic-tac.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you do this balancing act, so you keep this tic-tac.
Keep it right there.
Right here, all the time.
There are many mysteries about the Starship Voyager, like how it flies, and what it really looks like close up. Well, here it is, the only original Voyager model. It's actually 5 feet long and made of fiberglass and aluminum. The thousands of man-hours it took show in amazing detail.
We went around the sets and took wide-angle photographs of all the sets and put little transparencies about 1/4 of an inch behind the plane of these windows. This has a motor inside so that when we go to warp, the Voyager has the kinetic property of tipping up like this.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to build the largest aquarium in the world, something unique and unusual, something that had never been seen before. I mean, you're under the ocean, you're under the reefs, you're seeing coral that no one's ever seen before.
We built a 505,000 square foot building, a 1,600 space parking deck. All of this done in a 28-month construction period. That's unheard of.
The Cotton Bowl is definitely an icon.
And there's such a strong history and tradition of playing major football games such as Texas OU in the Cotton Bowl.
So it plays a big part in our community